Hello, everybody. How are we today? I am super excited to jump on. Just waiting for the hostess for the mostess. No, that would be me. The best guest? I don't know. I am waiting for the wonderful, amazing Katy to come on board because she's got an incredible transformation that I would love to show you guys and show you what's possible, like where you can go with plant-based living and some sustainable weight loss tools, right? I am bringing these clients on to show you what you can achieve. I hear so many times, in fact, all the time, I hear, oh, yeah, but I can't do it because I'm, and then insert negative thought or negative statement, right? I don't want to hear that anymore, just purely because, well, you all deserve change, you all deserve transformation, and you all should be able to recognize that everyone is on their own journey. Everyone is experiencing their own thing. And so everyone has their own trials and tribulations and problems. And so I am interviewing not all of them, but most of our clients to show you guys that anything is possible, and to show you what you can achieve. So let's bring Katy on. Thank you so much for joining me, Katy. Hopefully our internet doesn't shit out like it did today.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm in the perfect spot though, because I've been really excited to do this. So I didn't want it to go wrong. I'm like, I am not going to move an inch just in case the internet goes crazy.
Do you know what I probably should have done is disconnected from the Wi-Fi just in case, but there we go. We move on, we power on. Well, first of all, I wanted to say thank you so much for coming along. I really appreciate it. You haven't even finished with your program yet. I think you're only just over halfway through. We've got so much to go.
Yeah, 3 months in. I'm loving it.
I know. Yeah, so we're about halfway through. And you are just seeing so many results, and your story is really inspirational for me. And I was just saying beforehand that I have a lot of conversations with people and they say, oh yeah, but I'm this, like I've got this condition or that condition, or I've dieted and I've tried it before and all of this and that. And so just bringing on Amy last week and yourself this week is just to show like a little bit of just a little bit of the background on everyone, to know that we're not alone. And I know that you've enjoyed the client chat, because it's just been a great opportunity to understand that and to see that other people are experiencing their own trials and tribulations, and everyone thinks that it's just them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, just a little bit about me really. So I've got 2 kids. I used to work for myself. I was always pretty like a healthy vegan, like if that's a thing, I ate pretty much whole food, plant-based. I've been vegan for 12 years now, and I really started to struggle with being a healthy weight after I had my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And especially after I had my second child, who's now 4.5. I had her right before the COVID lockdown. We were stuck indoors. I was stressed like a lot of people about many things in that period of time. I was really eating a lot for probably stress relief, comfort, that kind of thing. And of course, I'd just given birth, so I already had some weight that I really wanted to lose, and just a few healthy habits I wanted to pick back up, and that just didn't happen for me. And then about a year after COVID happened, I got COVID a few times, and that developed into long COVID, which for me meant a lot of breathlessness, fatigue, random muscle aches and pains, things I'd never experienced before. And those things then led to me feeling that a healthy lifestyle was less accessible for me, because I couldn't stand and prep food for a long time. I couldn't keep nipping out to the shop several times a day. I really had to lower just even my step count daily, so I was getting less physical exercising as well. And I think for me, things kind of went downhill from there, and I ended up gaining a really 3 stone above what my I'd say healthy weight would be.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. And when you came to me, like, what was going on for you at that time? What made you reach out?
Well, I mean, I've studied nutrition in the past myself, so I know what healthy food looks like. I know what nutrients to get from what food, and sometimes I feel like people think that if they just have the knowledge and they kind of look it up and Google it and study it, that they'll be able to eat well. But it really is an emotional thing as well, eating, it can feel addictive, or
Mm.
it can feel like a way of comforting yourself, and dealing with emotions. And I think if we don't get past all that stuff, we can have all that knowledge in the world like I did. I felt like I knew it all, um, but I just couldn't stop gaining weight, and then I couldn't lose that weight, um, even though I felt like I was eating quote unquote healthy food. I was eating pretty much whole food, plant based, and there were a few times where I lost maybe 5 pounds or so, but then I quickly gain it back again, and it was just very
Mm.
yo-yo. I'd feel sorry for myself. Again, a lot of people have probably got this story, and I decided I just needed some help and accountability and some assistance to dig through what was really going on with me. And that's kind of when I turned to you, really, as you know.
Mm. Yeah, I'm so privileged to have you. And you jumped in pretty quickly, didn't you? It wasn't a long process. It was like you joined the group, you joined the challenge, then bam!
Yeah,
Like
I
we're already 3 months down the line.
I think it was your first 5 day challenge,
It was.
wasn't it?
It,
That
it
kind
was,
of,
yeah.
it was brilliant. Just in those 5 days, if anyone hasn't done the 5 day challenge, then if you do run it again, Bianca, or anything that you run again, like, do join, because it's amazing.
June the 17th. We're running June the
If
17th.
you're watching this and you haven't done it, like, please do it, because I think I went into it almost thinking like, this might be good. Like, I'd been watching you for a while. Like, your videos are like what you're all about. You're plant based, just like me, which is something I look for in a coach. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, I get something from this. Never thought that it would be so transformational. And I'd end up being like, sign me up. I want to be a proper client, because it was just, the 5 days were just so helpful in themselves. So many habits
Amazing.
started there, like the water intake habit I have now, that started then, before I even became a paid client. And I've carried that on from that first day of the challenge for the last, like, nearly 4 months. So that is
Yeah.
just beautiful and amazing to me, that, like, that was given to me for free. And I'm so glad I'd made that leap to
Just FYI, I haven't paid
myself.
Katy to say anything.
I invested in myself then, and I was like, should I do it?
Mm-hmm.
Gone then. And I invested in myself, and it's
You
one of
did.
the best made. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so pleased. And I just kind of want to very briefly circle back to the fact that, as I was saying, a lot of people will be like, oh, yeah, but they've got this and they've got that. And I just want to highlight that you even mentioned that you've got a nutrition degree, right? You've got a nutrition degree. You studied nutrition. You've been vegan for many, many years. You work for a vegan society. Is that right?
Or the Vegan Society in the
The
UK.
vegan side.
You've
Okay. So,
probably heard of them. So yeah, I've got access to even dietitians on staff as well. So
wow, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah. So I've got all that knowledge at my fingertips. But if I don't dig into what it is that's made me stop eating healthy foods, or in a way that's beneficial for my body, then I'm going to keep on doing that. It doesn't matter how much I know about nutrition, does it?
Yeah, yeah, and exactly. So, you know, even if you don't know about nutrition, just Googling something or just getting a nutrition course doesn't then by default make the results happen. There's a lot of internal work that happens. And I've just got a call off of someone where I was talking about the Regenerate program, the one that you're on. And I was saying about how it's like 10% nutrition and 90% mindset. But with all of that mindset work, you have, as I've told everyone, become like a thoughts and cravings ninja. So in the last couple of months, you've been doing so much thought work and transformations within that thought work. So I'm really, really excited to hear about this element from you. So I guess like where to start with this question is like, what was what's really helped with the cravings and the thought work?
Wow, I think a few little things. I think first of all, I came into this program with a negative outlook on life. So, you know, like, why me? Why have I got this health condition? This isn't fair. Like, is this program going to help me? Because I can't do 10,000 steps a day every day. I would literally be in bed for 3 days after if I did that. That's kind of at one point how severe my condition was. You know, I couldn't go run on a treadmill and or anything like that. So I think within a month or two of working with you, though, the mindset changed into, you know, what can I do? What can I build on? What quick wins can I have? What's going to take longer? And am I willing to bet on myself and put enough on my own self-worth to believe that I can do it? I think with a lot of us going on a weight loss journey, we have either little self-worth or self-esteem, and we don't quite believe we can do it. And I think you've really helped me to see that I can do it. It doesn't matter what my story might be or what excuses my brain might throw up at me. I can get through it because they're just thoughts. They're not facts. And we've ran through this many times, that thoughts are not facts. I probably need every coaching call. I've been like, oh, I've been feeling like this. I've been thinking this. You know, this has been a hard week. I was in bed. I only did 2,000 steps on this day. And you've always brought me right back down to, what are the facts of this situation? You know, is it thoughts and feelings you're having, or is this actually true? And going through these processes with you has really helped with the thought work, for one. And I've kind of gone into cravings yet, but I think that was the first thing I wanted to say, really, is that it's just such a mindset thing, you know. And that does apply to cravings as well, really, because cravings are a thought. It might be a thought that you have at the same time every day, that, oh, it's for me, it was like, it's 8 p.m. and the kids are in bed. Now is the time this habit pops up in my brain that I'm going to want to snack now. I want to settle down with my husband and have a drink or a bar of chocolate or watch TV, and then before I know it, the whole packet of biscuits has gone. And that was a habit for me that I accidentally fell into. And I think realizing that these cravings were kind of just thoughts, they were just habits, and they could be changed. It wasn't something that was wrong with me. I think that made a big difference.
Amazing. So tell me what your cravings, I mean, you just went into it a little bit, but like, tell me what like your cravings were like before, and tell me how you manage them now. Not necessarily the tools and the details of what you do, but like, is it easy now? Is it still hard?
Yeah, I should really still use the word craving now, because I think that almost gives it some kind of like crazy power. Like, to me now, it's a craving is really just a thought in my brain that I want something, and that my brain's convincing me that I need to have it. I can't do without it, even though I can. But I mean, some of the cravings or just thoughts that I used to have are wild. You know, I'd have 3 meals a day, nutritious, lovely meals, enjoyed them. But then, say I'd have my evening meal at 5 p.m. with my kids, and then at 8 o'clock or so, me and my husband would be like, I've got a little bit of room in my stomach now. Should we order a pizza or something? And then we'd eat a pizza. It's like supper with takeaway, and that's way too much for someone to have like a whole extra meal.
Yeah.
Not to mention the bank balance as well, of course. But it's things like that. My brain was like, it wasn't comfortable with me having a bit of room left in my stomach. You know, I'd be full all the time, and if it wasn't, it'd be like, right, come on, we can eat something. We can fill that room up in the.
Which is so easily misread as hunger. I think a lot of us don't recognize what genuine hunger feels like in us, and it's also what like a pain point in, like, if I'm hungry, then I need to eat, and it's something that we just don't get comfortable with, and all it is just a little bit of uncomfortable feeling inside. But a lot of us just continue to stay full up and stay full up and stay full up. and we don't allow ourselves to feel that hunger and go up and down and allow the ebbs and flows
Yeah.
in.
And I know the first month or so working with you, I was just so like had that uncomfortable feeling a lot of the time because I was eating to less of a fullness level. And if you ever work with Bianca, she'll kind of teach you about like fullness and hunger scales and levels and things like that. It's really good system that she uses. But yeah, I was like really uncomfortable mentally not being that like 100% bursting full, because one, that's what I was used to, and two, like mentally, I guess I think it was something I picked up during those hard times in COVID where I was always in the house. I was always around snacks and food. We couldn't really leave the house much.
Mm-hmm.
One of my activities was to eat almost. It was almost ended up being like a hobby. And it's like, oh, I'm only 80% full now. Let's fill that last 20% up. And it wasn't needed. But I think you can get over that first wave of uncomfortable thoughts of, oh, my stomach's a bit empty. I really want to eat. And it gets a lot easier.
Yeah.
Your body gets used to it and adjusts to that new thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, it is a little bit of work, but it's not like hard work, right? I mean,
And
that's probably a leading
like,
question.
it's like, do you want the hard work of like maybe having heart disease or being on medication in 10 or 20 years time, or do you want the slight discomfort now of changing your lifestyle so that you can live a longer and healthy life? I think you have to be in those terms, because it
Yeah,
always
100%.
bite you in the bum in the end, and it might not be tomorrow, but it'll be maybe in 10 or 20 years time.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I say quite a lot of the time. Like, okay, I understand this is uncomfortable and hard, but choose your hard. It's either going to be a week's worth of slight discomfort, or is complaining, being upset, being low, anxious, sick, spending a lot of money on medication for the rest of your life. Going to be hard. Like, choose your hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm planning on saying this, sorry, but it
No,
does.
no.
This hard doing this program with you the last 3 months has been the easiest weight loss journey that I've been on, because it's really hard to describe, but when you're battling with weight loss on your own and perhaps you're counting calories and you're watching everything you eat and you're like, you know, you're weighing stuff and you're constantly obsessed with what the scale's going to say, and that takes its mental toll as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also up and down, and you have that low self-esteem. You've got no one to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Your system, you're not making anything easy for yourself. That is really hard. Like women trying to lose weight or be healthier,
Mm-hmm.
that is really hard too. And this
Yeah.
is kind of hard that I've had, but also the most weight I've lost and the easiest that I've lost weight too. So like,
Amazing.
go figure. Like, I don't know what to say.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And again, I just actually got off a call where she was like, Bianca, I'm sick and tired of tracking. Like, like every single program that she signed up to, they had said, don't worry, we won't track. And then, like, within, I guess, I'm assuming within weeks or even days, like, they had her tracking everything. And I said to you, okay, would you be all right with just texting me like what you ate? And she was like, absolutely fine. I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Because we don't track stuff. Like, yes, sometimes if clients are struggling to get results, I need to do a really deep dive into nutrition. I get that. And so I ask like what you guys have had, but it's really not an extensive MyFitnessPal like tracking your macros, your calories, or anything like that, which is what makes it sustainable, or part of what makes it sustainable.
It really does, yeah. I mean, I know roughly just from studying nutrition roughly how many calories are in something.
Mm-hmm.
Probably off the top of my head, but I've not counted one single calorie, you
No.
know. So we've been on this program, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm satisfied. I have really nice meals, and I'm losing weight, so I can't really ask for much more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And
All instantly.
And like what we discussed today is you were able to take your kids out, right? And you were able to have a cookie and not have all of this drama around, oh my God, now I'm going to have to work it off. And I mean, tell us about like today. Was it today or
It
was
was
it yesterday? Sorry. Yesterday.
yeah. So dance class. So me and my other daughter kind of hung around the town to wait for her because it wasn't worth going home. We went into Costa. We had a drink and a cookie each. This cookie is quite big, and I ate half of it, and then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to save the other half for my eldest daughter because I'm not hungry. This half has done it for me. I feel satisfied, happy. I've had enough. I'm okay. Whereas in the past, it would be like, I'm going to eat this cookie as quick as possible. Maybe I'll even order a toasty. Maybe I'll even like order a rocky road to take home while I'm here. It's like, oh my God, I need to get as much out of this situation as I can and order stuff. I probably would have had like a really kind of sugar heavy drink as well, but I just had like a milk. And I'm actually happy with that because I was focusing on enjoying time with my daughter, whereas in the past it would have been an opportunity for me to like eat something sugary and focus on the food. But I was focusing on chatting to my daughter, having an experience with her, asking about her day, having a laugh and a joke with her. It wasn't about the cookie, and that's a big difference for me in my life.
Yeah, amazing. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that as well, because for a lot of people, eating is checking out, eating is calming down, eating is like the activity that they go to provide some form of like comfort and ease. But like your experience today, it wasn't about that. It was just solely about enjoying the company of your daughter. And yes, you can enjoy the cookie, but you decided that you had enough. Did that feel restrictive today at all when you said yesterday when you finished half and you were like, I don't want any
Not
more?
at all. I didn't even think about the half of a cookie after that. I put it in a packet, put it in my bag, and then I think I accidentally stumbled across it after dance. I'd completely forgotten about it, so it's not. I wasn't thinking about the cookie. I wasn't umming and ahhing. It was just had enough. That's it. There was literally no drama around it. Whereas in the past, every time we'd eat out, like go for a meal, I'd want to have 3 courses, and it's almost like I wanted to make the most of it in a food sense rather than, well, actually, I'm here to spend time with people and socialize and have a laugh. It was always about the food.
Mm, mm. I think that's where a lot of like the stress and anxiety about going out to eat with friends or family comes from. And it just comes from this distrust within ourselves of like, oh, I'm going out, like it's going to be a girls' brunch, it's all going to go to shit, so I might as well just enjoy it. And I remember just after you joined, or what, no, just after you joined, you went out to have lunch with your mum for Mother's Day, I
Oh,
think, like with your
it
mum and your sister.
was Mother's Day. Yeah, it was for an occasion. Yeah, that's right. You've got
That
such
was it.
a great memory.
Only on random ass stuff. When it comes to important stuff, like, doing my taxes,
Yeah, it's gone.
nope, nope, never remember that. But yeah, you went out and you absolutely smashed that as well. And all we did then was just a little plan, right? And it was just like, okay, let's just decide what you're going to do ahead of time. So
And I enjoyed
yeah.
it, and I enjoyed the company more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to. They had a dessert, but I didn't because I was full. I knew if I had that dessert, I might just enjoy it for a minute, but I'd be really bloated later. I'd have
Mm-hmm.
discomfort. I'd just feel too full. I knew it would just affect me for longer than I'd enjoy it for because
Mm-hmm.
that's what happens for me when I eat past fullness. It just feels horrible after, and I don't want that. It wasn't even
Mm-hmm.
about the weight loss, it's about kind of what my body needs and how it
Mm-hmm.
feels.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's just having that little plan in place minimizes that idea of deprivation. So it stops people from freaking out and
Yeah,
going, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to have chips again. I'm never going to be able to have cookies again. I'm never going to be able to have pizza again. Like, we discuss on a regular basis what we want on our pizza, don't we? I swear to God, we have a pizza conversation once a week.
Today I could eat a pizza, especially when it's like that time of the menstrual cycle. I think it's a lot and really normal for a lot of us to just be like, I could literally eat everything in sight. But yeah, with all that stuff though, the coaching helps because I didn't really realize at the time that it would help in this respect, but we can kind of diffuse these situations before they even happen. So I think I had my call with you a few days before I went on a meal. I've probably a few things that I've done. I can kind of bring up my worries, and you can help me to diffuse that and just see it for what it is, and if necessary put a plan in place, and then it feels a lot easier. It's just really good to almost get it, that food anxiety off your chest, if you know what I mean.
100%. And that idea, like, oh, it's all gonna go to shit. Now I'm gonna weigh in, and then I'm gonna be heavier. And I mean, let's not even start talking about like the scale drama and all of the diffusion that we've had to do over the scales, and stepping on the scales and worrying about what it's gonna say. So a lot of it is hyped up in our minds, and the problem is that hype, it then sticks around, and then that's what interferes with our subsequent actions, which then don't work towards our goals. So yeah, all about putting a plan in place. Okay, I want to kind of throw you under the bus here, but did you have any skepticism, worries, concerns about jumping on board coaching?
I think for me, because I needed to budget for it, because it's a monetary expense. I think there was that. It wasn't a doubt in you, but it was a doubt in me that, oh, I might spend some of our family budget on this for me, and then I don't follow through with it, or I give up on it. Like, can I do this? So it's doubting me, not you, because I'd done stuff before and I hadn't followed through with it, or it hadn't worked, it didn't suit me, whatever. So I think for me, that was the skepticism, is, oh my God, am I going to like spend money on no results and no learnings here, like, because I don't trust myself. And now I trust myself to follow through on things. If I say I'm going to do a habit, I'll start that habit, and if I don't do it one day, I know I'll get back on it the next day, and because no one's perfect after all. But I definitely feel different about that now. In my mindset I have now, if I knew that some coaching or something, an investment would benefit me, I'd be like, yeah, I'm taking this seriously, I'm doing it, and I know I can do it. So I think for me, that was the only doubt in my mind, is that I couldn't do it because other things hadn't worked for me before.
Amazing. All right, so do you want to give us like just a brief outline of everything that you're experiencing at the moment, and this is still with 3 months to go?
Yeah, gosh, just so much. And I'm not making any of this up, by the way. I feel like sometimes when you like bring people on a video to chat about stuff, like it's like they brief you beforehand, but there's been no briefing whatsoever.
I literally said to Katy, I was like, I'm gonna ask you what you did, and what it's like what it was like before and what it was like after.
I'll cut you off.
Yeah, be nice.
But now I'm really proud of the results I've got so far. So we're talking like stats, which is probably actually the least important thing to me now, but it would have been like the most important at the beginning of the program. So I wanted to lose, I think it was 20 pounds in the 6 months we are working together. I've already lost 15 in the first 3 months. So I'm really pleased with that. And of course, there have been weeks where I've put a pound on or maintained, and then other weeks I've lost like 4 in a week. And it's been really important for me to not put, like you said, with the scale drama, not put all that, excuse the pun, weight on the scale. That's the most important thing, because sometimes you might go up, then you'll go down, but as long as like your curve's going down over months and months, you know, then you are making progress. That's a really important thing for me to remember. So I mean, that's like the stats side of it, but the more important things are just that I'm not thinking about food every second of every day. You know, for me, I was always thinking about the next meal or that day's food. What am I going to have? And it was just like a drain on my brain all the time. But now I do most of my food prep on a weekend for a few hours. Me and Ben do it together. That's my husband. So he's got into cooking more as well. We share the load, takes us a couple of hours. We fit it in where we can. You know, we have 2 kids, so we have commitments.
Mm-hmm.
And we're done for a lot of the week. I've just got to pull something out, maybe chuck some salad leaves with it or heat it up or whatever it might be, and I'm good to go. So it's freed my mind up for, you know, my kids, work, my hobbies, all that kind of thing. I definitely don't really have many cravings anymore. My main cravings that I have now are like at that time of the month, but I feel like I can manage them a lot better, and I know that why that's happening and what I can do instead. I'm using other things for stress relief that are more beneficial, you know, like we were talking about in our call earlier today, you know, like reading, mindfulness, going for walks, things like that are much better for stress than eating and then feeling rubbish again half an hour later when like the sugar high's worn off or whatever it might be.
I think again, choose your hard.
It's been great, like not feeling bloated. Just I feel a lot more confident just in myself as well. I'm trusting myself to go through this process. You know, it's like not just an investment of money, but it's like an investment of faith in me that I can do this. And I have been doing this, and unlike any other time I've tried to lose weight, I'm like looking forward to carrying on working with you and the rest of the journey, because I'm probably about a third through the weight that I want to lose. Probably want to lose another 30 pounds roughly. I don't have an exact goal in mind. I'll know when I want to change things up, which is fine. But I reckon I'm roughly about a third of the way there. But instead of thinking, oh, well, I've got to go through this for however many months and I've got to like do this to lose weight, it's not a slog. It's like, this is my lifestyle, I'm enjoying living it, and this is how I'm going to be from now on. So the weight loss will come. So that's like a really cool thing for me.
Oh, I'm so pleased, and your progress has been so beautiful to watch, and it's just win after win after win. And when you say, "Oh my God, this happened and this happened," like, you know, at the end of a chat, it's like, okay, let's put it into perspective. Let's get
Yeah,
up and let's move on. And it's just been so fantastic to watch your resilience, and your determination just get stronger and stronger.
I mean, you know, I've had times where I've messaged you and I'll be like, why did I eat all this stuff yesterday? And we've kind of worked through it.
And what was my response?
I can't remember now.
So, what's your problem?
Okay. So some of the chats we have are hilarious on WhatsApp. It's great, but you know, I'm not. I've been like some kind of model student and perfect the whole time, but that is part of the process and learning about myself. Like I learn a lot from when I don't always follow through with what I say I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, despite those days, I'm still losing the weight. I've still had the odd day here and there where I've been in bed because I've pushed myself too much the day before, and I haven't hit my step goal that day, but
Mm-hmm.
myself, and I move on and I learn from it. So I'm a lot happier for that, releasing that perfectionism almost.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. A lot of people are always just so scared to take action in case it's perfect, because they're so scared that it's going to not work and they're going to waste their time and then they're going to fail. But I think, was it us that mentioned it? Oh, it might have been in my challenge. If you're not failing, then you're not trying. Fail
Yeah.
so many times that you end up by default learning what does work,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise,
Always in your
imperfection.
comfort zone in life, you're never ever pushing yourself. It's really hard to really achieve what you want to in life. I think you've got to push yourself and accept that failing is part of that. And that was hard for me to accept at first, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I'm like,
a
I
lot
always say,
now, I hope.
well, I always say, okay, did you fuck it up enough times? You know, like, okay, how many times did you screw it up? Twice. It's not enough. Let's see how many times you can screw it up. Go on, I dare you. And it's just about pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. As I think I wrote an email on Monday. I think I wrote an email on Monday where I mentioned about pushing yourself outside your comfort zone.
You
And
did
I
that.
said, yeah. And I said, yeah, what kind of TED talk tells you? Or no, it was an Instagram post. What kind of TED talk have you listened to that tells you to stay in your comfort zone?
Yeah.
None.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
get out of it and get uncomfortable because you can choose your hard. Amazing. So, sorry.
Sorry, I was literally going to say, and just silly rules that we set ourselves, like, oh, I'll start eating healthy on a Monday or on the first of the month or for a New Year's resolution. I always used to be like, I'd eat well, then maybe if on Thursday I don't know, ate something that I didn't class as good, in that nice little brain of mine, I'll be like, well, I've messed up now, forget it, I'm going to eat junk for the rest of the week and start again Monday. So it's like, why was I doing that? What was so special about a Monday? Now, if I have a meal that I'm not, I say particularly proud of, I don't feel like it was that nutritious for me. I'm like, why did I do that? And then I'll just carry on at the very next meal, the very next thing that passes my mouth, not even the next day. It's like, I'm just like, okay, that's fine, let's carry on. It's crazy how we can like set ourselves these weird mental rules.
Again, it's that resilience that you're growing and building, which is just beautiful and fantastic. I've just realised your wallpaper is the wallpaper in the same house that I mentioned in the living room.
Oh my god, maybe you lived in this house before I did.
Just for context, anyone watching this, when we had our session today, she was in a room and I said, oh my god, it's the same wallpaper as in my kitchen in the last house that I lived in, and I've just realised that it's the same paper in the living room in the last house that I just lived in.
Oh, that I just don't have very unique taste in like.
I've never seen these papers before. Sorry,
Oh my god.
had to mention that because I was just like, oh my god, that's insane. Okay, awesome. I'd love it if you could just share 3 things that you think would be incredibly useful for someone who's really struggling either or with their thoughts and with their cravings, that has just really helped you, maybe like an aha moment or just something that's really shifted for you.
Yeah, I think the first thing for me is what I mentioned earlier, which is just remembering that thoughts aren't facts. Craving is something you have to act on. Things in your brain, you don't have to obey what your brain's telling you. It's okay to be uncomfortable if you're craving something, but you're full up. You've had a good meal. You don't have to obey that craving you've got and that kind of voice in your head. Like remembering that is a big part of mindset. It's okay, I can sit with this, maybe I'll go journal instead. Why am I wanting to eat that? And sometimes you get a lot out of journaling through it instead of just eating that away. So I think that's a big first one for me, that it seems like such a little thing, but I think if you remember that every time you have a kind of crazy thought about yourself or a craving, it can just help to diffuse how much you've inflated it in your mind. I think that's a big first one for me. Wow, what else? Second thing I would say, I guess we haven't talked about nutritional food that much, but I guess for people who aren't nutrition savvy, it's making sure that your plate's balanced. You kind of do things with magic meals and that kind of thing, Bianca. It's just making sure that you've got plenty of veggies on your plate, that you're eating food that's going to benefit you, and waiting until you're hungry to eat that food, not eating because it's just a set time, and then stopping when you feel full enough. I think really listening to your body when you eat those foods, that's a key thing for me.
Amazing.
Learn, yeah.
Amazing. So listen to your body, have a balanced meal plate, and know that you don't have to act on a craving. It's just a thought.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of these
Amazing.
things, it's nothing to do with like nutrition at all, you know.
Mhm. 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 It's as I say, weight loss is 90% mindset.
If it's
And
about meal plans and like recipes, then we'd all be able to just like buy a £10 meal plan and follow it,
I
and then
mean, just ask
we'd
ChatGPT
be
now.
great. Exactly. Like we none of us would be unhealthy, but it just doesn't work like that. You've got to put a bit of like work into yourself, and it's well worth it.
Absolutely. Well, watching you grow, as I said, has just been absolutely incredible, and I'm so grateful
But we're forever.
that I was going to say, I don't think that the problem is I don't think I'm going to see you after 6 months, because you'll be like
Oh,
flying away.
I'm never leaving now. That's it.
Amazing.
If you
Love
like
it.
change careers, I'll be like, have you got a slot this week? Can you fit me in?
What are you having on your pizza?
What are you having on your pizza today? But yeah, I've lost 50 pounds in 3 months, and I'm still eating pizza, and I've still had that cookie from Costa, and it's not a big deal. Like,
Amazing.
I think that's just great. I'm just so happy about all of it, to be honest.
Well, I'm so grateful to have you on. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Helpful
And
for someone who watches. Like, I hope it kind of gives someone the confidence to start whatever journey they need to go on and just uncover those things about themselves.
And so it was long COVID that you had beforehand when you
Yeah,
started.
well, kind of intermittently now, but a lot better. Yeah. So, you know, people with chronic illnesses, I feel there's a path for everybody. It might be look slightly different depending on you and your health conditions, but I think there's definitely a health path for everybody.
Yeah, so like even though you were experiencing a lot of health concerns, it still helped you, which is good.
Exactly. Even alleviating some of the symptoms, so it's a bonus.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you. You're doing amazing, and I can't
Hey,
wait to see the rest of this 3 months.
come on every day.
Please do.
Let me
I'll give you a regular
hey
slot.
everybody.
Regular slot with Katy. I love it. That'll do. That'll do.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. It's been an
No,
honor.
thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thank you for doing so much for the vegan society as well, for the animals, the environment, and everyone else's health. I just want to say I appreciate
I am
you and the hard work that you do.
vegan, to be honest. I mean, I'm a level 100 vegan.
Are you the eat a block of raw tofu vegan? That's like level 4,
I
isn't it?
can't do that, sorry. No.
I would. I would. Just plain. It's just a bit bland.
Actually, I probably would now. I've never tried, but I mean, I probably would
You're
now, to
gonna
be honest.
like be meal prep and you're gonna be like, no.
Oh, oh my gosh. Yeah. Cool.
Amazing. Huh?
Oh, I just said cool.
Cool. Right. I love you with all my heart. Take care, my lovely, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you so much.